Hello everyone. Today we'll discuss about the second part of our 8th chapter, Akbar the Great. In this chapter, we have already finished its first part about Akbar and about his times. And now in this part, it's a second part of our chapter, we'll discuss about the remaining portion of this chapter. Now, when we start this chapter, it is about Akbar the Great. Now let's see who was Akbar. His original name was Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar. He was popularly known as Akbar the Great and also called as Akbar. And he was the third Mughal emperor. His reign was from 1556 to 1605. Akbar succeeded his father Humayun, and he was under a regent called Bairam Khan, who helped the young emperor expand and consolidate Mughal domains in India. Because when Akbar became the ruler, or when Humayun expired, he was only 13 years, so he was under the control of Bairam Khan. All these details we have discussed in our previous video. Now let's see what all things we discussed in our previous video, that is in our first part of video. Akbar and his time. In that we discussed about the second battle of Panipat, which happened in 1556 AD, and it was between Hemu and Bairam Khan. And then we studied about Akbar's Rajput policy, Battle of Haldi Khati, and then about the administration of Akbar, central administration, provincial administration, and revenue administration. So these were the important topics which we discussed in the first part of our video. And now in this part we will discuss about Akbar's religious policy, about Ibadat Khana, Din Ilahi, his cultural developments like literature, architecture, painting, music, etc. So let's start the second part, that is more details about his religious policy and his cultural development. Let's discuss about that. That is Akbar's religious policy. Akbar followed the policy of religious tolerance and believed in administrating equal justice to the followers of all religion. He abolished jizya and pilgrim tax. Jizya, the tax which the non-Muslims were required to pay, and the pilgrim tax was taken on bathing at holy places such as Prayag and Benares. He treated all his subjects equally and gave high post according to merit. He married Rajput princes and allowed them the freedom to practice their own faith. He gave land grants to people of merit irrespective of their religious belief. Next one is Ibadat Khana and Din Ilahi. Ibadat Khana. Akbar wanted to create the spirit of love and brotherhood among the people of his religion. For that, he constructed Ibadat Khana in 1575. He built a hall. At first, the discussions were conducted about Islamic thinkers, Islamic followers came there for discussion. But later it was open to people of all religion like Christians, Zoroastrianists, Hindus, Jains, etc. In 1579, Akbar decided to take into his own hands all religious matters and issued a declaration or mahsa. The declaration made Akbar the supreme religious head of Muslims. Din Ilahi. The comparative study of different religion at Ibadat Khana led Akbar to form Din Ilahi, means divine faith, in 1582. The basic purpose of formation of Din Ilahi was Sul-Ki-Kul or universal harmony, and it believed in one supreme God. The basic purpose of formation is universal harmony. Now the next topic, that is social and educational reforms. Very important. Akbar abolished sati and legalized widow remarriage. He raised the age of marriage to 14 for girls and 16 for boys. He restricted the sale of wine and spirit. He revised educational syllabus and laid more stress on moral education and on secular subjects. He set up a translation department for translating works in Sanskrit, Arabic, and Greek. Cultural achievements. Akbar was a patron of art and literature. Akbar was a versatile genius. He encouraged the study of astronomy, mathematics, logic, and history. Akbar's court was adorned by 9 distinguished men from different fields. They are called Navaratnas. Abul Fazl, Faizi, Abdul Rahim Khan, Todarmal, Mansingh, Birbal, Tansen, Fakir, Aziuddin, Mulodo Piazza are different, or we call them as 9 gems, and they are also can consider them as a genius in different matters. Abul Fazl, he wrote Aini Akbari. Faizi translated Mahabharata and Ramayana into Persian. Todarmal was his revenue minister. Mansingh was his military general, and Birbal his constant companion, and he was famous for his intelligence. And Tanzan was a singer, like that. So all these 9 people are distinguished personalities in their own field. Painting. During the reign of Akbar, painting was organized in royal karkhanas. Different people from different parts of the country used to make beautiful paintings in karkhanas. The most famous work is Dastani Amir or Hamzanama. Jaswant and Daswant were the 2 famous painters of Akbar's court. Very important point. Dastani Amir or Hamzanama was a work or a painting work made, and Jaswant and Daswant were 2 famous painters of Akbar's court. Architecture. Akbar was the first Mughal emperor who undertook construction on a large scale. The most famous building built by him was Agra Fort. It was built with red sandstone and had many magnificent gates. Other important buildings are Panch Mahal, Diwani Khas, Jamia Masjid, Jodhabai's Palace, Ibadat Khana, the tomb of Salim Chishti, and the Buland Darwaza. Literature. Akbar had a keen interest in gaining knowledge, although he himself was illiterate. Famous Sufi saints from Persia, Sheikh Mubarak, and his 2 sons, Abdul Fazl and Faizi, lived during his time period. Abul Fazl was a great scholar and historian. Akbarnama is the biography of Akbar, and Aini Akbari is a part of it was written by Abul Fazl. Abul Fazl's writing gives us a complete picture of Akbar's character and administration. Many other regional languages also found a period of growth during this period. Works of regional languages were translated into Persian. Many original works in Hindi and Persian were composed during this period. Many important works in Hindi, such as Ramayana and Mahabharata, as well as it was translated to Arabic and Turkish, and it was many works of Arabic and Turkish were also translated into Persian languages. That means there was a group was there who translated many works from different languages to another. Vallabhacharya, Keshavadasa, Tulsidas, and Surdas were some famous important Hindi poets of this time. For example, Ramacharita it was written by Tulsidas. Sursagar was written by Surdas. Prem Vatika by Ruskin. Like that, so many works were written by so many famous personalities. Now let's move to the next part, that is music. According to Abul Fazl, music flourished as an art form in Akbar's reign. He was also fond of music. There were 36 musicians in Akbar's court. Mian Tansen was the most famous music composer in the court of Akbar. Many popular ragas such as Raga Darbari, Raga Deepak were composed by him. It is believed that Mian Tansen sat in a seat situated in the middle of Anup Talav in Fatehpur Sikri every evening and sang melodious ragas there. So that is about music. So we have already finished almost all the important architectural features, cultural developments like literature, architecture, painting, music, etc. during that time. And now let's move to the last part of our chapter, that is character and achievements of Akbar. Akbar was a great emperor. He was a great learner and valued and appreciated art and literature. It is reflected in his encouraged of literary works and paintings, music and architecture. He was a great administrator and an empire builder. He was also a compassionate ruler. He was compassionate towards his people. He was not a religiously fanatic personality. He was tolerant towards all the religion, and he found a new religion, Dinilahi. All these things we have discussed in this part of our video. He won the loyalty of his subjects by supporting and encouraging them. He died in the year 1605 AD. So that is the end of our chapter, and let's see some fill up questions here. This fill up questions you can write and you can find its answer, and you can learn that. The question answers of this chapter will be uploaded soon. That also you can write and learn. So let's discuss the fill up questions. Only questions are written here, answers you have to find from your book. Question number 1. Dash was the new revenue system introduced by Akbar. Question number 2. Dash was a religious tax imposed on non-Muslims. Abul Fazl wrote Dash. Dash translated the Mahabharata and Ramayana into Persian. Dash and Dash were the two famous painters of Akbar's court. Last question. The basic purpose of the formation of Dash by Akbar was universal harmony. So here we end the chapter of Akbar. Now in the next video we will discuss about the next chapter, that is about the later Mughals, and that video will be uploaded soon. Thank you. So listen to the class properly and write the answers and learn it well. Thank you.